A very good morning to all of you. My name is Rajat Agarwal and this YouTube channel is called BeingJigyaasu. Today I'm going to talk about a very interesting story from the periodic table. So let's dive right into it. If you see, this is the periodic table. It's kind of an unusual periodic table because it is far more colorful than what we generally see in our schools. This periodic table has a uniqueness, that is that each and every element in the periodic table has its use and a photo of that element where it is being used. So for example, if you see copper, there are electric wires which is written below it, and there is an electric wires photo, just so that students are able to understand what is the exact use of each and every element in the periodic table. So the story which I am going to talk about today is about some elements which were named after some great scientists. Okay, so there are many elements in the periodic table which are named after scientists. There is Einsteinium, there is Rutherfordium, there is Seaborgium, there is Curium, named after Madam Curie. And if you see some of these elements, say for example, Curium is right here, much below in the periodic table. If you see, this is where Curium is. So if you go there, this is Curium, and it is named after Madam Curie. So here we have Madam Curie doing some work in her lab, and she was awarded the Nobel Prize twice. This is an amazing achievement by any scientist to be awarded the Nobel Prize even once, but she was awarded it twice, and that too for two different streams of science, one for physics and the other for chemistry. And if you see, for physics it was 1903, for chemistry it is 1911. So in less than 10 years, she was awarded the Nobel Prize twice, which is an amazing achievement. An interesting thing about curium, the element, is that it was not discovered by Madam Curie. Curium was actually discovered by another scientist, and his name was Professor Seaborg. Professor Seaborg has an element named after himself as well, and it's called Seaborgium. Now, the story which I'm going to talk about today is about Professor Seaborg. Professor Seaborg was such an amazing scientist, and he had such a great team that he discovered not one, not two, not three, but 10 different elements in the periodic table. India has not discovered even one. There have been elements which have been discovered in India, but not by our countrymen. So, his lab discovering 10 elements is an amazing achievement, and that too of the actinide series, which is a little difficult because they are all radioactive. So, Professor Seaborg had his name given to the element Seaborgium, which his lab discovered. But why is it special? The reason why it's special is because Professor Seaborg was still alive while Seaborgium was named after him. This is special because all the other elements which were named after scientists had the scientists long died before the element were named after them. So, for example, Madam Curie had long died, and in her honor for the work she did for science, element curium was named after she had died. Same goes for Einsteinium, same goes for Rutherfordium, same goes for Niels Bohrium. All these elements were named much later the scientist was died. But Seaborg was a scientist where the element Seaborgium was named while he was alive. And look at this image. This image shows Professor Seaborg pointing at a periodic table which has the element Seaborgium in it. And no one before him had the honor to do so. So that's an amazing thing that Professor Seaborgium had achieved. But the story is that how Professor Seaborg dominated the periodic table, and especially the actinide series. Professor Seaborg's lab also discovered another element which was called lawrencium, and it's written as LR for the short form of lawrencium. He discovered another element. His lab discovered berkelium as well, which was named as BK. Another element was californium, which was named as Cf, and another element which is americium, which is named as Am. What is the significance of these elements? Why were these elements named like this? If you see, what Professor Seaborg was trying to do was he was trying to give you the address to his lab. Yes, Professor Seaborg discovered seaborgium, which was discovered in St. Lawrence lab. That's why Laurentium. St. Lawrence lab is in Berkeley, therefore berkelium, which is in California, which is californium, which is in America, which is americium. Did you know that your periodic table had an address built right in it? And that address is to the lab of this great man, Professor Seaborg. Amazing. This is something which very few people know of, and something which was hiding in the periodic table for a long time. But now you know. Now, my Jigyaasu question for today is that recently there has been another element which was discovered by another scientist who is still alive and has been named after him. Can you try and search on the internet what is the name of the scientist? What is the name of the element where the scientist has been named for the second time? It has happened that the scientist is still alive and an element has been named after him. That's the Jigyaasu question for today. Hope you liked the video. Please do share. Please do like it. Please do subscribe for the channel and please share. Thank you so much. Hope you have a great day.